Shout out to Mark Cuban for being an amazing team governor, and all the things that he really is, because he's really a lot more than that. But I hope that show everyone that like he listens. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
Because he's been, and again, like something as simple or menial as like music. But if like that's one of his most important, like that is like top 3 for him. You know what I mean? And so like I love that I've been able to kind of in the 5 or 6 years that I was in that space, like really make everybody feel seen and heard, like in the arena. I always just thought to myself, like, if I was a hometown kid, what would be the coolest thing that would happen to me? You know what I mean? It would be that my favorite player runs out to my song, or my friends at the game, like, tagging me, this, that, and the third. Like, I feel like people deserve to feel that. And if I can make that happen, like, why not?
Real life. If that shit ain't real life, it ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is.
So, we got to introduce, we got Poizon Ivy in the building. If you've seen the Mark Cuban interview, he said that you are the reason why these local niggas is getting a shot to work with the Mavericks. Talk to us, Poizon Ivy. You putting on. We didn't know this.
Man.
Why ain't you ain't just get on the gram and just be like, yeah, I did that.
No, I rather have the people talk for me.
And they did. And they know they did. And all right, so for those that don't know, man, the Dallas Mavericks, what did Mark say? He said, what word did he use? He said something about the culture, like anything that's culture is Poizon Ivy. I don't do nothing culture. He credited you with the culture. Anything culture wise, Poizon Ivy. So
man, but let me tell y'all this. Like, shout out to MC. Because
call him MC. God, nickname, superhero names.
Shout out to Mark Cuban for being an amazing team governor, and all the things that he really is, because he's really a lot more than that. But I hope that show everyone that like he listens. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
Because he's been, and again, like something as simple or menial as like music. But if like that's one of his most important, like that is like top 3 for him. You know what I mean? And so like I love that I've been able to kind of in the 5 or 6 years that I was in that space, like really make everybody feel seen and heard, like in the arena. I always just thought to myself, like, if I was a hometown kid, what would be the coolest thing that would happen to me? You know what I mean? It would be that my favorite player runs out to my song, or my friends at the game, like, tagging me, this, that, and the third. Like, I feel like people deserve to feel that. And if I can make that happen, like, why not? But also it's because like it's some really good music out here,
Yeah, it's dope, because again, I used to work there, used to be a bartender there for a couple years, and you noticeably notice the music there's a lot of local artists. You hear a Big Tuck, you hear all of these local superstars getting played in the arena. I'd be like, damn, they show more love at the sports arena than they do on the radio. You know what I mean? And it always wondered about that, but then he credited you. So for you, how do you decide, like, who do you want to put on and who do you want to put your hands around?
Listen, I feel like, and this is real, I feel like if you out here working, somebody's talking about you.
Yeah.
And the people who talk, people like me listen, or should listen, but I listen, I do, it's a combination of things, man. Like, I do some research, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, too, like, it takes resources to be out there. I mean, I know people say, oh, the internet, this, that, and the third. But, like, people sometimes, like, I'll tell y'all. Yeah. Okay. Like, I always ask myself, every time before, people want to know, well, Ivy, how do you, like, soundtrack a game day, right? I'll look at things like, is it a Monday? How do people feel on Mondays? Like, the energy needs to be up, right? Yeah, like, is it raining outside?
Damn. Okay.
Like, what's the weather like outside? Cool.
Okay.
What happened in the news yesterday? You know what I mean?
Oh damn. Strategic, surgical with this bitch. Jay.
Real. I mean, it's like science and art. Like, or
Does it matter who they're playing? Like who they're playing against?
Big question. Who's their opponent? You know what I mean? There's certain days where I'm gonna lay off the New York tracks. I'm gonna lay off the Atlanta tracks. Like I'm gonna lay off the LA tracks. Like, but also with that being said, is what does Dallas sound like? You know what I mean? How do we create a consistent? Yeah, like how do we? If you were to say Dallas right now, like what should we be hearing in the arena? Old school, new school, alternative, hip hop, R&B. I mean, there's so much that we can do to create like an identity, and that was always one of my biggest goals. Is like our arena should sound like us.
Do you feel like the Dallas Maverick fans support the music, the team, the arena as well as they can? Have they had good years? Have they had bad years? How are they doing this year?
In terms of our team?
No, just
Or
the
our
fans.
fans?
The fans. You know, because you got to, you know, the fans could cheer a motherfucker back into the game.
They can. Our fans are great, and this is a crazy season because, like, you know, we're sold out of season tickets.
It's crazy right now.
Like,
it's crazy.
Demand is high, but I will say this: demand has been high consistently. I think we're probably up there in terms of teams with like the number of sellouts, but people actually showing up to games, like their butts in seats. I feel like we have a good time. You know, I feel like we have a good time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, I'd never experienced anything like last year's playoffs. That was crazy.
Damn,
you know
talk about it. Talk about it.
Did you think we were gonna make it to? I felt like we was gonna go to the finals.
I
bro.
had a conversation with because I have a no. I mean,
Right. I chopped it up with Luka.
I have a lot of friends on the Golden State Warriors. And
man.
yes, I know, but they are friends and family. I went to college with Juan Toscano Anderson before he left for the Lakers. I have a lot of good friends on that team, and they were like, bro, honestly, like whoever won that series won the championship.
That's straight up.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move it.